Which version of Godzilla, the king of the monsters, is the strongest? Well, today, Heralds of the Titans, we have that answer. And it's not even really that close. For years, Godzilla has been adapted and readapted across various different films, comics, and series. Each depiction has their own array of strengths and weaknesses. But one version of the character continually rises above the rest in terms of sheer magnitude. So, today, Heralds of the Titans, let's explore the legacy of the strongest version of Godzilla. The version we'll be discussing today is known as Godzilla Earth, from the Reiwa era of films. Recently, we also produced a video talking about the version of Ghidorah from the same continuity, so if you'd like to see a more fleshed out roster of monsters that inhabit this reality, be sure to check out that video. In this timeline of events, Godzilla was responsible for systematically eradicating not just the human population from the surface of the planet, but the remaining monsters as well. And this is chronicled as far back as the Monster Apocalypse novel. This version of the character is not nearly as benevolent or indifferent as the Monsterverse counterpart, one who has no particular feeling one way or another towards humanity. While the Monsterverse Godzilla isn't expressly interested in ensuring the safety and prosperity of the human race, he doesn't mind cohabitating the Earth with them so long as they do not pose a threat to his rule and the natural order. Godzilla Earth, though, did not share these same sentiments, and was firmly set as a villain. When faced with threats and entities that he did not like, he was highly aggressive, and for a variety of reasons, humanity found themselves on his bad side, as well as several monsters. The Hauta, however, were humanoid creatures who also inhabited the Earth alongside Godzilla. They did not endure his ire, so it's not humanoids that Godzilla just liked, it was just humans in particular. Once they were all about eradicated though, he became much more passive and docile towards anyone that didn't outright threaten him or his world. This included several monsters who were allowed to live under his singular reign. What this demonstrates though, is that this Godzilla is a global threat, and has the potential to reset the planet back to its prehistoric era. His origins, much like the iteration from the Monsterverse, deviates from the original tale depicted in 1954. He is not a mutant affected by the nuclear fallout of Hiroshima. In this version though, he is described as the end of natural selection, and seems to be the furthest extent of what earthly evolution has to offer, making him essentially the god of the earth. The final step in not human evolution, but evolution period. Many have speculated that he stems from plant life rather than animal matter, though this has never outright been confirmed by any source, although he does look more like a tree than anything else. This Godzilla is a personified deification of the earth itself, and much like the Monsterverse, he is a guardian of nature, essentially though, a physical manifestation of the god of the planet. Unfortunately for humanity, this means that if nature is threatened by the industrialization and unchecked capitalism that the human race can offer and justify, depleting the earth of its natural resources, then nature essentially may have created Godzilla to fight back. This timeline showcased a race of humans who had caused irreparable damage to the environment and had to be violently put back into check. What's so interesting about this universe though, is that Godzilla is not a unique life form, and is not only found on planet Earth. In fact, several extraterrestrial species from the Reiwa era revealed later in the series that most planets have their own version of Godzilla, and that they are all relatively ubiquitous across the cosmos. This uniformity doesn't mean that this Godzilla isn't a massive threat though, and as he has demonstrated numerous abilities that showcased exactly why he is designated as the preserver of Earth. He doesn't naturally radiate any sort of energy on an electromagnetic spectrum unless he is actively using his atomic breath. This makes him massively dangerous because he is virtually invisible to any human technological instruments. He does though emit radiation that does cause immediate harm to any humans in the vicinity, and oftentimes they have to immediately evacuate anywhere that Godzilla has been or is approaching, not just because of his size, but his radiation. This means that his very presence ensures that any humans in the area are in immediate danger, and there are very few safe ways to actually get close to Godzilla without contracting severe terminal radiation poisoning. His strength is not even a point of contention, as human beings are laughably unprepared for anything that Godzilla can produce, and he is thus far immune to any conventional weaponry. What the Godzilla of the MonsterVerse has not demonstrated, though, that this one has, is the ability to reproduce through immediate and unaided cell division. This means that Godzilla can produce offspring, and several different versions of Godzilla have been born in this same way across the Reiwa era. So even if humanity or another monster ever does find a way to finally kill Godzilla, he will be able to survive via an heir. It is also believed that this is evidence of his origins being plant-based, since some types of plants are oftentimes able to grow and reproduce in similar manners, depending of course on the plant in question. What it means though, is that this additional mass doesn't have to become sentient, but can actually be added to Godzilla's existing form. This allows him to grow on his own, and much more density to his pre-existing body can be added. This helps to augment Godzilla's strength even further if it ever calls for it. His energy-based powers, though, are far beyond anything we've seen from the MonsterVerse or other versions of the character. Of course, this version comes with his own iteration of the atomic breath, but he takes this ability to its upper limits. His default version is capable of leveling cities, whereas our Godzilla can certainly take out several buildings, and even go directly to the planet core. There's still nothing compared to the ability of Godzilla Earth, which, if he wanted to, could likely destroy the planet. His red spiral atomic breath, though, puts the MonsterVerse Godzilla to shame in terms of upper limits. It is said that this attack took 5 years to charge to completion, and he used it all in one single burst. During the twilight of humanity, an asteroid was detected within deep space, and it was set on collision course with Earth. The asteroid was said to be 30 kilometers across with a mass comparable to the moon, and Godzilla was able to blast his beam of red spiral atomic breath out of Earth's atmosphere and into the void of space and completely annihilated the asteroid. Just so we're clear, Godzilla Earth is capable of destroying the moon if he ever wanted to. But this isn't the end of his energy-based abilities. When he keeps his energy contained to the immediate exterior of his body, he is able to forge it into a concentrated blades of asymmetric, semi-permeable shields, which encompass his body. Not only is he an absolute Goliath of unspeakable atomic energy, but his shield ensures that he is nigh untouchable and has some of the best defensive capabilities of any Godzilla or any earthly monster. Of the various versions of Godzilla that we've seen over the years, this is by far and away the strongest, and has demonstrated feats far beyond what we've seen in the MonsterVerse itself. Currently in the MonsterVerse, Godzilla's height is 335 feet in Godzilla vs. Kong, the tallest Godzilla in the MonsterVerse we've seen thus far. Godzilla Earth, though, is 300 meters tall, or 984 feet, making him almost 3 times as tall as the Godzilla from the MonsterVerse is currently. Not only is he one of the largest versions of the character, but he's also one of the versions of the character capable of destroying entire worlds. But anyway, my friends, what are your thoughts on this literal god created by the Earth itself? What are your thoughts that he is a member of a species that other environments from across the cosmos create actively? And do you agree? Is this the most powerful iteration of the Godzilla character that we know of? Are there others out there that rival him? And if you enjoyed this video, you guys have no idea just how powerful the version of Godzilla Earth's Ghidorah actually is, an interdimensional god demon. So if you're interested, be sure to check that out in the link of the description below. But anyway, my friends, what other videos would you like to see on the channel? What other kaiju and titans would you like to see us cover? And as always, thank you so much for visiting the channel today, and I hope you're having a great one.